This video is intended only to supplement the written installation instructions that accompanied your product, not to replace those installation instructions. The written installation instructions should be read and available to you before you attempt to install the product.
Before installation, confirm your cutout dimensions meet the requirements outlined in the installation guide. First, measure the width, height, and depth of the cutout. Like 30 3/8 we'll call it. Half of that is, 15 3/16. So I'm gonna come over, measure 15 3/16, put a dot, 15 3/16, put a dot. So to check on this, we're at like 12 7/8 to the very front of the cabinet, not including the handle. So to the front of the cabinet, we're at 12 7/8. We want the front of the microwave to be flush with the front of the cabinet door. Since this dimension is 12 7/8 and the microwave is 12 3/4 deep, we will need to shim the microwave out 1/8 of an inch using the provided shims. Locating the center of the cabinet width and drawing a line down the middle will give reference using the template to locate the upper cabinet mounting screws. So next step is we'll put the wall template on the bottom of the cabinet, and the two pieces, the two reference points we're going to want to line up with is there's an arrow in the very back, and that lines up with the vertical line that we just drew. So you want to make sure you line it up on there. And then also to achieve the flush look, the other part is you're going to want to line this template up with the outside of the cabinet door or whatever you're trying to flush this up to. So right now I've got it up against the back wall, so I'm going to grab something flat, something like a ruler or a yardstick, and just slide it out until it bumps that, and then bring it over here to the other side. Yep, and get that nice and lined up on both sides. We are flush. Check my back line, that still looks good. So now we'll take our pencil, and what we are drawing is the spot for the mounting holes. And then we'll also draw the cutout for our power hole. So next you take your template, turn it sideways. You've got a triangle right here. Line that up with your center line. Get nice and centered on that. Make sure you're pressed all the way against the top. So then take a pencil. Got two little windows here. Draw a line there and there. And take your template down. Okay, so next step after we've drawn that line, we use our triangle reference right here. Find the center again. A, H, J, and B should all fall along that line. Make sure you draw the line long enough. So once you get that lined up, you're going to want to draw your circles for each of them. So you got A right here, H right here, J, and then B. So use a 1/4 inch drill bit, drill a hole on each side for the mounting screws. We've got a stud right here in the center, so we're going to drill these two out with a 3/16 drill bit. When attaching the wall mounting plate, refer to the installation guide whether a stud is present or whether a wall anchor is required. In this case, a stud is located, so a pilot hole needs to be drilled. So here we've got our wall mounting plate, and here's the hooks where the microwave will sit. So depending on your install, we're going to need to use these little spacers that will be included with it. And the spacers go on the back side of the bracket, and they'll go on each side of these hooks. So we'll flip this over. And for our particular install, we need to bump this thing out about 1/8 of an inch. Each of these spacers is 1/16 of an inch thick. So we'll use a total of 8 of these, because again, we're going to have one on each side here, and then one on each side over here, and we will double those up, so that'll be 8 of them total. stack those right on top of each other. The first measurement we took was 12 7/8, which tells us we will need a shim of 1/8 of an inch. We're going to go ahead and get this wall mount bracket secured to the wall. On the back, you can see we've got the spacers here, 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 and here, and we've got 2 stacked on each one. So each of those again is 1/16 of an inch thick. It'll total 1/8. So that's how far we were trying to move the bottom out, was 1/8 of an inch. So we'll line this up with the holes that we drilled. And we're going to go ahead and just use screws on the outsides. We've got studs here everywhere that we need them to. Depending on your install, you may have a stud only on one side or on both sides. Refer to the install guide. It tells you in there whether you need to use the wall anchors or what you need to do. We'll want to go ahead and make sure that the distance, before we tighten this completely, that the distance is the same from the bottom of the cabinet down to the top of the bracket. So we'll make sure that that's all lined up, and we're going to go ahead and get these screws tightened.
Warning: excessive weight hazard. Use 2 or more people to move and install microwave oven. Failure to do so can result in back or other injury.
Yep.
Right in.
No. There we go. You got the microwave?
Yeah, I got it. I was trying to lean it down a little bit more to see it.
To attach the microwave, we use the mounting bolts and the washers provided.
Warning: electrical shock hazard. Plug into a grounded 3-prong outlet. Do not remove ground prong. Do not use an adapter. Do not use an extension cord. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death, fire, or electrical shock.